You don't need a lot of money to be happy. I used to work 80-hour weeks. I was exhausted and irritable. I always felt like I never had any time to rest, to breathe, or to do the things that I loved. Even worse, my time with the people that I loved was so short. Yes, I was making a lot more money, but I was not using it wisely. I was using it to buy fancier things, to try to keep up with the newest trends and with society around me. But then I got sick of being so unhappy, and a few things happened simultaneously to help change and shift my life's trajectory. I slowly stopped working so much overtime, and I found myself rereading books that I once loved. In my early 20s, my favorite books were Into the Wild, Walden, and War and Peace, and the core themes in those novels focus on rejecting society and consumerism and carving one's own path to happiness. In my early 20s, I was definitely more eccentric. I was an extreme minimalist, I was vegan, I did furniture-free living, and I just was not money motivated at all. I was very free-spirited, often verging upon recklessness, and I had a lot of growing up to do. In hindsight, though, I realize now that I equated growing up to having a traditional career and working a 9 to 5, following the norm in society and keeping up with the Joneses, so to say. But you never really catch up with them, do you? Rereading those specific books reminded me that I once craved a much simpler life. Now, I know that y'all all know my bike, my beautiful Ozark Trail G1 Explorer, but what you don't know is I bought one for Selena. This was my gift to her on her birthday, and she loves hers just as much as I love mine. And she is so excited to do her very own bike check. So this is Selena's bike. It is the Ozark Trail G1 Explorer in size small. This is a drop bar gravel bike with L2 shifters in the color green tea. And Selena wanted to customize hers a little bit by putting on this spackled paint bar tape. And it turned out really, really pretty. And as y'all can see, unlike my bike, her handlebar is actually in the correct position. She also switched out her saddle. The original saddle to this bike was not very comfortable for her, so she put on a wider, more cushiony one. She also has these beautiful orange pedals. And the bike has a 2x7 drivetrain with a Turney TZ derailleur. The tires were original to the bike. They are Kenda branded and they are size 700x40C. We have really enjoyed these bikes so far, and we've been putting some great miles on them on all types of terrain. Now that this little bike check is complete, let's get back to the topic of the video. The second thing that made me stop and consider my path in life was taking a job in a nursing home. There is such a wealth of wisdom in the older generations about a life well lived, and about regrets and things that should have been done differently along the way. When you reach the sunset of your life, the regret that I've heard shared most often is, I worked too much. I spent too much time trying to accumulate things that I can't take with me when I go, instead of loving my family or fixing my relationships or trying to right my wrongs. Seeing these stories play out in front of me made me reevaluate everything. I ended up making a choice. I could either keep working crazy hours and allow society and people to continue to influence my spending and my lifestyle, or I could stop. Let's just say my life looks a whole lot different now, and I'm all the better for it. My days now are full to the brim with joy, with happiness, with love.
Get your speed up! Fucking send it! send it, Selena! Woo! That wasn't bad, buddy.
has become rich beyond measure, and it has absolutely nothing to do with money. I am rich in smiles and in laughter. I am wealthy in time, which could be argued as the biggest asset of all. I make it my aim to be in attendance at every sunrise and every sunset that I possibly can. And yes, this required some lifestyle trade offs, but it was worth every single bit of it. I work a whole lot less than I did before, which means that I make less money than I once did, but I've adjusted my spending accordingly. I will never own the newest fashions or even an excess of clothing, but the clothing that I have is clean, functional, and it meets my needs. I don't eat out often or go to fancy restaurants, but my wife always has our kitchen filled with the aroma of good home cooked meals. There is always food on our table, even if it's simple. And on the special occasions that we do eat out, we enjoy it all the more deeply. We don't live in a fancy home or even a big home or even an updated home. But our home is clean and warm and safe, and my family sleeps in peace each night. My pleasures are cheap. I enjoy riding, reading, and bicycle rides, just to my local park, but also to explore my town and the countryside all around me. And the bike isn't just a tool for pleasure, it's also my form of transportation. I use one of two bikes to grocery shop and to get me back and forth to work and to meet all of my transportation needs. I hope to never again have to worry about a car payment or car insurance. There was a popular saying during the Great Depression: to use it up, wear it out, make it do, or do without. And that pretty much sums up my philosophy on life these days. I have made myself rich by making my wants few, to paraphrase Thoreau. I had to learn to discern between a need and a want. And now I live very consciously of that.
Ooh, yeah.
Our needs are met, and we have enough to squirrel away some savings. And that, for me, is enough. These changes were actually very easy for me, and in a lot of ways, it felt like coming home, because from the time that I was young, I had the concepts of a frugal life modeled to me by my father. My dad was the definition of a simple man. He was quiet by nature, but when he spoke, his words held weight. He was kind-hearted, and he loved nature. He was a diesel mechanic by trade, but there wasn't much that you could put in front of him that he couldn't fix. My father chose to live simply and frugally his entire life. He was careful and wise in his spending, and he preferred the simple pleasures of Louis L'Amour novels and old Western movies. My dad's everyday outfit was a navy blue t-shirt or sweatshirt paired with jeans and work boots, but he faithfully donned a black or gray suit every single Sunday. He drove an old Ford truck that he paid for in cash and that he would maintain himself. My father was truly a mountain among men. He was true north to me and always will be. Dad's been gone for 4 years now, but his influence and his wisdom live on. You truly don't need a lot of money to be happy. You don't need a lot of money to be rich. You can be rich in time, in smiles, in laughter. You can be rich in love. You can be rich in so many things. If you're watching this, thank you. I hope you are well today. I hope that you are happy and that life is kind. If you want to see more, please like and subscribe. I'll catch you later, somewhere in Tennessee. Bye.